Hey, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have the wonderful Kia and Janelle of Conquer Divide here on the channel. How are you girls doing today?
Hi,
So
doing
good.
pretty good. Excited?
I bet.
Yeah, stoked.
You have the new album coming out soon, which I am so very excited for. It's called Slow Burn, and it's out on the 8th of September. You guys can go ahead and pre-order that now. I will leave all the links and everything in the description below on this video. You've released how many singles have you released from it so far? Is it 4 or 3?
I think,
Four
I
now?
think,
I
Atonement,
think it's
Paralyzed.
oh yeah, I
Welcome.
think four.
4.
Yeah.
Atonement, Paralyzed, Welcome to Paradise, and The Invisible. Yeah,
Yeah.
four.
How have you guys found that response, like from fans or even people discovering you guys with this like album run?
I feel like it's been pretty good. I think like I was really nervous for The Invisible, because like we went from releasing Welcome to Paradise, which is pretty heavy, and then we got like a really good response for that one, and then it felt a little bit like almost unnatural in a sense to
Yeah.
like then go and like release something that's pretty like calm down a little bit, but like the response has still been really good. And like I don't know why, like I'm always so surprised by like all the love that we get. Like it always feels so good, and I always am just so taken aback by it. But yeah, I feel like so far it's been a really good response.
Good.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. I second all of that. I've noticed like all the comments. The Welcome to Paradise comments are like, oh my God, heavy, yes, so good. And then there's a couple of comments that are like, it's cool, but where's that like ballady, like catchy, kind of messy vibe song? And then here we are with The Invisible, and those people are like, yes, awesome, this is what I was waiting for, this is what I wanted. And so it's kind of nice to give, both crowds what they wanted.
Well, it's also nice because it also showcases what you guys can do as a band. You can do that more heavier, rougher style, but then you can also, take into account the emotion and going to, the feelings and more like serious subjects in a way, because that leads me to the next question of like, in your own words, how would you describe the invisible, like the lyrics, how it came about and how it's affected you like growing up? Because I know it is for those who have felt invisible and who have felt alone, and I know I felt that way, you know.
Yeah. So, Izzy and I were kind of talking about this the other day. Um, I kind of feel like, oh, my cat. Hi.
Oh,
Kitty.
I kind of feel like if this song would have come out when I was in high school, like this would have been the song that I would have like sobbed in my room all by myself to. And like that being said, even now as like an almost 30-year-old woman, like I still feel it so hard. I think that like everyone has those moments when they feel like that, even if it's not because of one thing specifically. Sometimes it's just like your brain is playing tricks on you and making you think everyone hates you, and that's not
Hmm.
true. So I feel like the song like can be related to so many different people and so many different things, and like and I think that's one thing that's really good about it and like cool is that anyone can find a way to relate to it. And I mean, that sucks, like that it sucks that something like sad is so relatable, but like it also kind of like helps bring everyone together, I think. Does
no,
that
that's
make
perfect.
sense?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
second that as well.
yeah, I think that's the beauty with the music is that you can, you pull inspiration from so many different things in life, and it doesn't necessarily have to be happy and, all the time, because life isn't that way. And that's another question that I have for you guys, like, where do you draw inspiration from for your lyrics?
I mean, it kind of comes from everywhere. It depends really. Like there are some songs that like I don't have as much involvement lyrically as like Janelle might.
Mm-hmm.
And so that totally depends, you know. The cool thing about it is that all five of us help write. And so because of that, we all have so many different angles to come from. So I
Mhm.
definitely think it depends. Janelle, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's like 5 different perspectives of like the same vibe, which is cool, which I feel like brings a lot of variety to the lyric writing, since it's 5 different perspectives. But yeah, and then the way we find topics is really just like sitting there and thinking like, what in life has like sparked some type of, not even rage, but some type of passion, where it be like, like the Welcome to Paradise is about like global warming, and like the pipe in Michigan. I forgot the name of it, but that, there's a lot of things behind that song, that we all were like, yeah, the world's kind of falling apart. Hey, that would be kind of a cool song title or song topic. And then we'll go from there and be like, oh, well, this is how I feel about that. And this is how I feel about, and then boom, it makes a whole collaboration of just perspectives, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I think sometimes like we'll just like, at least this is my experience with our songwriting process. Um, I'll get like an instrumental back from like Izzy and Kristen, Janelle and Sam, and I'll like kind of listen to it. And sometimes like you just hear it and like it just the music gives you like a weird emotion, like emotional connection to it, even though there's no words. And you can listen to it and say like I feel like with Welcome to Paradise, it was like we listened to it and we were like, honestly, like this makes me feel really like kind of pissed off, but like in a sort of like desperate way. I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And so then it's like, oh, well, in this part, what if we said this? And then it's like, well, what does this mean? And then it's like, oh, I think it means this. And then it all kind of unravels. Like songwriting for us isn't really like a linear progression. It kind of just is like, oh, well, what if this was the bridge? Like who starts with the bridge, you know? But like sometimes that's what you do. And then everything else just like naturally forms from it. And I think that's we have like a really nice, we benefit from having all 5 of us like be really passionate about the songwriting process, and like and always being really open to like hearing what each other has to say and like ideas and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, I think I rambled for a little bit.
I also rambled.
I don't think you guys are rambling. I think people who are going to be watching this are going to be interested to know how that works, because it's kind of rare where you get a full band that is involved with the lyrics and in that kind of sense, it's usually maybe 1 or 2 people, and then the others like concentrate more on the musicality of it. And it's nice to hear that all 5 of you come together and you sit down and you talk about it and you're open to everybody's experiences. And I think it really really shows in your music. And I do want to touch on like how did you guys come up with the band name Conquer Divide?
This is a question that I never know how to answer because like so when we chose the name Conquer Divide, the only members at the time that are still in the band currently are Kristen and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we came up with a list of different names, and some of them were better than others, I guess. I don't know. I don't even if I'm being totally honest, I don't think I remember a single other name on the list. And I think we just were like, we voted. And if I'm also being honest, I don't even know if I voted for Conquer Divide. So we kind of just came up with a name that we thought sounded cool and like had like a cool meaning behind it. Which essentially is like instead of dividing and conquering, we're conquering the divide, but we didn't. I think we were trying to avoid the like verb, the noun format of names. So yeah, I think we came up with a couple of names that meant different things, and then we kind of just like picked one that we liked the best out of all of them. It's not really that crazy of a story.
Well,
Just we voted.
Yeah, just we made a list and we voted on it, and that's how it came about. But
that's how a lot of stuff happens for our bands. We make pros and cons lists and then we vote.
I think that's a healthy way to do things, because that gets everybody's opinions out there, and then whatever wins, and it's not just somebody like one person against everybody else. It's the outcome of that vote, and I think that's a healthy way to go about things,
Yeah.
especially in a band, you know, where you're with each other pretty much all the time. You're, you know, you're working on music and you're touring, and you know, you have to keep the relationship healthy. And for me, like the Conquer divide, because you are all women, it kind of feels like it's that conquering over the divide between uh male bands and then female bands, because in metal you it's I'm gonna go on a rant here, but you don't like, people don't say male fronted bands, do they? And
No.
yet they label you as female fronted or
Hmm.
an all female band, and it's like,
Hmm.
no, we're a band. It shouldn't matter what we have between our legs, you know. It's what matters is up here and what's in here. And
Yeah.
that leads me on to the next question of like, how have you guys dealt, because I know you probably get a lot of it, but how have you dealt with like the sexism and the misogyny within like the community and things like that?
I feel like it always presents itself in such different ways. Um, you know, on the one hand, there is like the one that you would expect the most, which is like harassment kind of comments, like comments about our bodies, like
Mm-hmm.
that happens a lot. But I think even more than that is like the backhanded compliments that we get. You guys are pretty good for girls. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't expecting that. Or I thought you guys would be good, but I did not expect you guys, especially for all girls, you guys really blew me away. And it's like, I don't understand what is so surprising about us being good. Like, we're all talented, and I don't understand why that is such a shock to people when they see us and they're like, I don't know why, but for some reason I was expecting you to be just mediocre. And then they want us to be like, thank you.
Right.
No, like, no. But like, that's only one of the ways. Like, I'm
Sorry.
sure it happens all the time. And like, I don't know, Janelle, can you think of some other? I know you can think of
Yeah.
other
No, yeah.
examples.
Yeah. So shows are crazy. It's always funny. Honestly, I've grown to like it now. So we'll get to shows, right? To venues. And you know, the loaders, there's a bunch of old dudes, big beards, tattoos. They see us, five girls, get out of the van, like they're probably thinking, or what they, looking down on us. And then they give us attitude for like the whole day, or they'll just blow us off and be like, yeah, restrooms over there. Oh, very just cold. And then we go and play the whole set, and ooh, I guarantee like 8 out of 10 times, all of those guys that were like, yeah, Loden, merch goes there. They're like, oh my God, you guys are so good. I like blew me away. It's like complete 360. We change. You can see that there's like a now found respect, because at first they're like, ugh. But then they realize, oh my God, these girls are actually really good. Like, they're good at putting on a show. Everyone's talented with their instruments and looking cool, slaying it on stage. And then they're like, oh, okay, you're right. Yeah, you can almost see like the like kind of guilt for like, maybe I did judge you a little too hard. But then they
Yeah.
get really, you're so good, and I'm like, sucks that you didn't just expect that right off the bat. I mean, you had to see it, in its entirety. But hey, at least the opinion does change at the end. So I love that. I love seeing the like satisfying.
Yeah, I had like actually really recently at a show that we played, and I had some friends that were coming, and my friends that were coming bought tickets. Like, I did not put them on like a list to have like their tickets comped or anything. They bought tickets. So I left the venue to go out to the restaurant that was attached to the venue and get food. And then we were coming back in, and my friend's ticket, for some reason, like whoever went in before my friend, the bouncer marked off my friend's name instead of the person in front of them and wasn't going to let us back in. And I was like, there is only one person with this name on your list, and he's showing you his ID that says he is this person. And maybe you marked off the wrong name on the list. And he was insisting that he did not make a mistake. And like, he was like, you can go in to me, but he can't come in. He's trying to scam his way in here. And I'm like, no, he's not. Like, I'm playing a show. So, anyways, I argue with this guy forever. We finally go in, after we play, I am not even kidding you. He comes over to me and he says, I am so sorry about earlier. If I would have known who you were, I would have never done that. And I said, you do realize that it doesn't matter who I am. You should not treat anyone the way that you were
Mm-hmm.
treating us. And now the fact that you just admitted that you only did that because you didn't know that I was in this band is like really kind of embarrassing for you. Like, you should not be
Yeah.
admitting that. And I think that was the first time where someone like actually admitted that they had some bias before. And so it was kind of like mind blowing because it's like you already know that they have that, but then for them to just straight up like admit
Like,
to it is like
yeah.
wild to me.
Yeah.
So I have not grown to love it. I did love putting him in his place, but that was nice.
Well, and I think like a lot of shows, I mean, I have seen it firsthand, is a lot of the security, a lot of the bouncers, whatever you want to call them, they kind of get a bit on a power trip because they're, you know, they're there
Yeah.
to wrangle the crowd, which I understand they have a job to do, but at the same time, you know, you've got to respect those people coming in to see that show and, you know, treat them how you want to be treated. You can't just like bullshit around and you know, expect people to like, if you're being a dickhead, then I'm going to be a dickhead back to you, you know? So
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I totally get it. I totally get it. But I know you guys are going on tour with Electric Callboy soon. Are you excited for that?
Yes. So excited. I know people always say like we're so excited, but like I don't think we can express how excited we are. It's going to be so fun. Like we obviously got to meet all of them in Germany for the filming of Fuckboy.
Mm-hmm.
And we instantly like when we met them, we all already were talking about like we would have so much fun on tour. We all have the same sense of humor, like we all get along. And also like a thing about them is that like they have so much fun, but they work so hard. And so I think it's going to be so nice to like tour with another band that like takes their job seriously, but like not too seriously to where they can't have fun. So yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited.
Oh, for sure. I'm stoked to just hang out with them on tour, kind of like how we did in the video, but I'm also so excited to see them live every night.
Yeah.
Great show, and I get to see it for free. And every night. I'm stoked.
Yeah. I feel like that's always my favorite part of going on tour with like bands that like we're already fans of is like it's like yeah, you get to share the stage with them, but also if I wanted to just go in the pit every single night, I could for free.
Benefits. Yeah, I love that because I mean I was supposed to see them in England last year. I think I went back home for the first time after the pandemic, and my brother had bought us tickets, but unfortunately it was the time when Nico had to cancel the shows because of, you know, his ears and he was having a few health issues. So unfortunately they rescheduled after I'd come back to the USA. So I still haven't seen them live yet, and I'm just like, oh, I really want to go, but they're not like I know they're doing the Blue Ridge Festival, which is close-ish here, but I'm really not a festival person, but just because of the heat for me with, you know, with being British, and then like that heat here is just awful. So I prefer like much more like smaller intimate shows where you can like, you know, closer to the band and things like that. So hopefully I'll get to see them live soon. You
guys... Is that the closest that we're coming to you? Because I know you said you were in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think
I can never remember off the top of my head. That's always Janelle. I texted Janelle the other day. Have we ever played in this state before? Because she always remembers everywhere that we play. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are coming much closer than that, which I was bummed about. But I know like you guys are just going to continue getting bigger and bigger, and maybe hopefully one day you'll have your own headline tour, which I can get to if you come through North Carolina, because I absolutely want to see you guys live. You know, I think you guys, from the live clips I've seen, I'm just like, oh, I want to be there.
We have fun.
But you guys brought up Fuckboy. I was just wondering how that like collaboration came about. Like, did you guys reach out to them, or did they reach out to you, or was it just kind of like something that just happened naturally, or?
So this is kind of funny that like that it's just Janelle and I here, because I genuinely feel like that was all Kristen's doing.
Yeah.
Kristen recently took quite a few like songwriting classes, and she's been really working on like multimedia marketing and things like that. And so Kristen works with a lot of other bands for all kinds of things. And even if it has nothing to do with like writing or marketing, she just like knows a lot of people. I think from what I understand, she just was talking to some of the guys from Electric Callboy. They just, you know how you just end up having internet friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they mentioned to her something about doing a song together, and she was like, yeah, we could totally do that. And then she told
Yeah.
me she had been telling like everyone in the band, you guys have to check out this band. You guys, we have to check out this band, and showing us all of their music videos and stuff.
Mhm.
And I think she ended up like tagging them in a video of all of us at the studio watching their music video.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think that's how they ended up like connecting. And then yeah, she sent the song over to me, and I listened to it, and it was amazing. It was so different from like all their other stuff they do.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of Kristen's doing. And
Yeah.
then obviously I helped write my parts for the song. But yeah, Kristen hooked that up for us.
I think also, I don't know. I know Kristen told me that, I don't know if it was Dan. I think it was Dan. Dan is actually a fan of our song Messy. I think that's what also helped it. Like, I
Oh,
think Dan was like, I love Messy. Like,
that
it's
makes
like,
sense. I feel like I remember him singing it on the video set of Fuckboy.
yeah. Yep. It's like his favorite song. And I think that also helped too, because he was like, oh, that song's great. Maybe we should do a song. So thanks, Messy.
Yeah, I really love how different it was from like their other stuff that they put out, and it just brought all that nostalgia for me because it was that pop punk kind of stuff was the stuff I grew up with in high school, and just hearing because I knew about you guys before the Electric Callboy collab. We found you randomly on Spotify one day. We were driving to the movie theater, and you just I think it was Atonement that came on, and I was like, "What the hell is this? This is amazing!" Like, I think all of your
Yeah.
all of your
Fine.
all of your breakdowns so far have like literally made me tear up because they're that good. I mean, you've seen. I don't know if you've seen any of my reactions or anything like that, but I was in the car and I was like, God damn it! I wish I wish I could go back and like rewind and not hear this so I could do it properly, like for my community as well, because I feel like they like you guys, they love you guys too. So yeah, we were both of my husband and I. We just like looked at each other. We were like, rewind, replay, and added you straight away to our playlist. So yeah, that's how we found you, and then just been following you, and then you announced you were doing a song with Electric Callboy, which also I'm a huge fan of too. So I was like, yes, I can't wait for this. Like, are they going to go with like Conquer Divide style? Are they going to go with Electric Callboy style? Or is it going to be like something
It was
completely
neither,
different?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was totally different.
Which
Yeah.
I absolutely love.
It was like the collab like no one ever knew we
They
needed,
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it works so well. It just works so well. Like, are you guys going to like come on stage with Electric Callboy while you're touring with them and perform that song in the set, or do you not know yet?
I mean, I would hope so. I think I said this the other day, like they technically haven't formally asked me to,
Yeah.
but they play it on like at all of their shows, and they usually just bring up someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm there and they didn't bring me up, I would probably be pretty salty.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure like when we were supposed to tour before, we talked about me doing it with them on stage. So I would imagine that hasn't changed. I don't know like where in their set list it's going to fall, but I would imagine it would be like a big missed opportunity for us to both be there and not do
Right.
it together.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. But I'm really nervous because like it's going to be the biggest crowd that I've ever been in front of. So
Yeah.
I'm very nervous about that, but excited.
You'll kick ass. I know you will.
Thank you.
Just going back to like the beginning, how did you both like get into music and into singing, and Janelle, you more so with like your harsh vocals, how did you like develop those?
Screaming. Wow. The band The Used really
Yeah.
put that spark under me. Hearing Bert scream and just seeing his emotions, it just really made me like, I want to do that. And so
Yeah.
I started screaming, not very well, in like 2008. So I was like 14. Yeah, like a freshman. Little Janelle just trying to figure it out. And I did that up until 2014, just like doing that kind of barky one tone scream. And then I decided I was fed up and I wanted to learn how to do that metalcore kind of scream. And I just worked on it, tried to figure it out, and then one day I just like full force was like, I'm gonna do it, yeah! And then it came out, and I was like, oh, I think that's it. And then literally 6 months later, Conquer Divide asked me to audition to be their screamer, and I was like, I totally know what I'm doing. Every time I scream, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. She bamboozled us.
Yeah. Oh, I am. Sure. And but I nailed that audition, and then they're like, cool, come record the album. I'm like,
Okay.
gotcha. That's it. I got you. But I'm pretty thankful for that 2 weeks of recording that first album though, because I feel like I learned a lot, especially with Joey Sturgis sitting there like giving you feedback. I feel like that really like solidified my technique. And then ever since then, I've just been, getting better. I don't know. Back in the day, it was such a good start, but now I'm so proud of the vocals on this next album. So a lot of practice, lots of trial and error, and here we are.
How about you?
Yeah, I feel like you were always good, Janelle, but I do hear so much improvement in your vocals. It's so crazy, especially as someone who like has no idea how any of that stuff works. I can just hear it, and like
you can hear it.
I obviously always thought you were amazing. But yeah, I agree. I do hear like such a difference in your voice. Yeah.
Yeah, leveled up.
Well,
how long have you been singing?
Huh?
I said, Kia, how long have you been singing?
Basically my whole life. I have a very musically inclined family. My dad, Lou, has been playing guitar my entire life. His brother, my Uncle Joe, played drums forever. My mom's a singer, my sister's a singer, my brother's a singer. And I just have always been around it. And I think I started really getting into singing with Destiny's Child. But really I was also into dancing. So like me and my sister would like choreograph dances to different Destiny's Child songs. And then I got into songwriting when I started listening to Avril Lavigne. And then I didn't really know I knew how to like make notes sound like the right notes, but I didn't understand how to make it sound cool or like stylized until I discovered Paramore. And I think that's why you can hear so much of that influence in my voice. But yeah, I've never been like trained to sing or anything. I just do it. I don't really know how. It just happens.
Well, that's really cool. You're both kind of like self-taught. You both you've never been like to like a professional school or anything. You just both were passionate about music, and you both were like, I want to figure out how to do this, and this is how we're going to do it. I know you mentioned Paramore, Kia. Like, I'm a bad TikTok scroller, so like when I'm passing time, and of course I get Hayley Williams pop up now and then, and just seeing her, she's so electric up on stage. So I can definitely see why you would take inspiration from that. And
yeah,
and,
she's just so cool. Like
she is. Just
it's every time same thing. Like yeah, like when she pops up on my For You page, I just like sit there, I just stare at it, and I usually watch it like 3 or 4 times. And I'm just like, Oh, you're so good.
Mommy.
Right?
My mommy.
It's so effortless just how, how she dances, and it just has that crowd eating out of the palm of her hand. And
Yeah.
Janelle, I wanted to say to you, like, I absolutely love your diction with your growls. It's very easy to understand what you're saying. A lot of times, especially for those who don't usually listen to metal or rock music that does have harsh vocals in, it's very easy to understand the lyrics. And whereas a lot of the times with bands, it's you have to go back and like re-listen a bunch of times with the lyrics pulled up, but I don't have that with you at all. I'm like, oh, I can pick it up right away. So I absolutely love that.
Thank you. You can thank Joey Sturgis for that. That's for sure.
He's an enunciation king.
Yes, for sure. So I've been on top of that since day one. So I'm glad you can hear it still.
Yes. Yeah.
Trying.
100% can hear it, I don't want to keep you guys too much. Sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead,
can I
Kia.
add something really quick? This is just a fun little thing, touching on Janelle's pronunciation. I agree that Janelle has really great enunciation. I have horrible ears. I've inherited this thing from my mother where I always hear the wrong words.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were in Michigan recently, we were getting ready to go play at Welcome to Rockville, and Janelle and I were recording some TikToks, and we were doing TikToks for Welcome to Paradise, and I thought the words were, this is so stupid. I thought it was hasten our demise, now televised, like on the TV.
Uh-huh.
And so I said that, and everyone in the band will not let it go because that is not what it says. And so anyone out there who also struggles to understand them, sometimes you're not alone. I was so confident that it was now televised.
And you're like,
not,
now televised. And I was like,
yeah.
You just
what?
Yeah, she literally goes, what is that? And I was like, now televised. Duh.
I was like, now I can't even remember what it is. Nailed to a vice. I was like, you mean nailed to a vice? And now, ever since you said that, that's all I hear is televised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes. I'm live, I'm going to say it. No.
Yeah,
no one would know.
No one would know.
I don't think. I don't. And even if you just did it as a joke and like got the fandom involved in that joke, I think that would be fun. It's kind of like that Bring Me the Horizon song, Sempiternal, and people are like, this is Sandpit Turtle.
Sandpit Turtle.
Yeah. And then anytime I listen to that song, that's all I hear and that's all I'll forever say. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Now you're just gonna do the same thing with now televised.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I do.
And I'm gonna do the little like motion with the television screen as well.
Oh, cute.
So just to finish this off, because I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know you guys are busy, and of course I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedule. But of course, with me being a reactor, I always want to know how fans feel about the reactor scene.
I love it. I think it's cool.
I literally
every time I see it, I think it's sick.
Same.
You what?
I constantly check for reactions. Like when we release something, I'm like, huh?
Yeah. Janelle is for sure the one like in our group chat that's like, oh, look at this one. Oh, look at this one. Oh, look at this one. Like it's so crazy too. I feel like there's so many, and I never would have like expected there to be so many a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Love it.
It is very oversaturated, and you do have to weed through a few to get to like the genuine people. But once you do, and once you find people you enjoy, it's like, oh, well, now I can't wait to hear them check this out or this out, and
yeah, I saw that you just posted a reaction to Invisible this morning, right? I haven't watched it yet because I think I was getting ready and I saw it and it said like 4 hours ago, and I think I told you I was like already running behind schedule, and I was like, not right now, Kia, not right now. So I'm excited to go watch that.
Yeah. I messaged Sam because I wasn't sure if you guys were bringing out a music video with that or not. So, because I know sometimes bands will release like the visualizer or whatever, and then like maybe a day later release a music video. So I messaged Sam. I was like, "Are you guys releasing a music video with this, or is it just this?" And she's like, "No, it's just that." I was like, "Okay," well, because I was literally sat in front of my computer like filming at that moment. So I was like, "Okay, well, I'll get it filmed and I'll get it out there as soon as I can for you guys." So.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
crazy timing. I could tell, you can tell Janelle's always on top of it because when I said, "Oh, I saw you posted the invisible," Janelle was like, "No, she didn't," because Janelle's been on a plane all morning.
Yeah, haven't checked.
Yeah, I figured I would put it out today because I knew we had our chat coming up, but so, but it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys. It's been a lot of fun. I was really looking forward to this because you guys are probably one of my favorite bands right now. So, yeah.
Thanks. I had a
Guys,
lot of fun too.
good. I'm glad. Because usually before these interviews start, like I'm not a shy person. I'm just a very quiet person. So usually I'm sat here, my heart's going boom, 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 boom.
Aw.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But guys, please, please, please pre-order Slow Burn. It is out 8th of September. They have 4 singles out already that you can check out. I will leave Conquer Divide's information all down in the description along with that pre-order link. I appreciate you ladies so much for coming on and hanging out with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and bye guys.
Bye.
Hi, thanks for having us. It was fun.
Alright. Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a Taurian. Speaking of becoming a Taurian, all of my social media links and my Discord link are down in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you come hang out in the Discord community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.